Hello, dog lovers. Welcome to another live dog training show, Saro Dog Training. Hope you're doing well. My name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. And in this live video, we will be talking about dogs and I'll be answering your dog related questions. Feel free to ask your questions in the chat area. If you're new here, welcome. In this channel, we focus on training dogs without the use of treats, food, aversive tools like shock collars, prong collars, choke chain collars, force or domination. And if you are something bugging me here, all right. And if you are a repeat viewer, welcome back. Thank you for being here. And before we get started, I wanted to remind you that there is still time for you to check out my new video that I have posted, the last video, where you can guess my Beagle puppies mixed breed for a chance to win a free copy of my book. Digital copy of my book, A Dog's 5 Essential Needs, 5 things that you need to provide for your dog in order to have a healthy and happy, well-behaved dog. So go ahead and check it out. There are many guesses. Many viewers have been guessing, which is great. And we will be announcing the winner and the right guess, the correct guess, next video, which is going to be posted on Wednesday, not Sunday's video, but the Wednesday video, and it will be posted on Wednesday. The video on Sunday is a different video. That one is a video about what you should feed your dog, if it's raw diet, a good diet to feed your dog or not, and all kinds of goodies in that video as well. So check that out on Sunday. On Wednesday, upcoming Wednesday, we will be announcing the winner and also the mixed breeds of Annie. We did a test, DNA test, and we were surprised by the results as well. And there are 6 mixed breeds. Obviously, one of them is Beagle, but the others are also interesting to know that she's mixed with. So yeah, check it out and go ahead and watch that video, which is going to be on until Sunday evening, and then we'll close the entries on Sunday evening, and then we will announce the winner and also the results on Wednesday. Now, this video, this live video, is brought to you by Saros Dog Training, virtual training. If you need help with your dog, with your Beagle, and you have behavioral issue, you have a dog with behavioral issues, and you want to an additional help, and if you want to get some feedback, and also I can watch you and give you watch you and your dog and give you some feedback as well, via Zoom, via a video meeting, Facebook's Messenger, or even Zoom. We can meet and I can watch you, and I can give you some feedback and provide some consultation, coaching, even training via virtual training. So if you want to learn more, visit my website, sarodogtraining.com, and enroll now and today. So the live video is brought to you by Saros Virtual Dog Training and Coaching. So let's get started on the questions, and let me see if everything is going well, and if we are Doing well. Yeah, everything is looking well. Okay, so let me start with the first question. Uh, and by the way, if you are new here and you want your questions to be answered, make sure to answer them in the chat area. And during the live session, I will see them and answer them. But if you're watching this video after it's been live, uh, you can still ask your questions in the comments area, which I will read them and I answer them. I read all the questions and I answer all the questions as well. So we have Irvi, I believe it is. My 6-month-old Beagle is shaking her continuously right now. We are guessing something when in her ear. Is there something we can do now? Something in her head. She's shaking her head. If it's a Beagle, usually they tend to have, something in their ear. So what you want to do, you want to grab a paper towel or a Kleenex or something like that, and just clean your dog's ear. If you have an ear cleaner, also it's a good thing to use ear cleaner. Maybe cleaning your ear, which brings me to this concept that you need, as a Beagle owner, you need to clean your Beagle's ears a lot of often. You have to clean it often. As a breed, Beagles are one of those breeds that you have to clean their ears often. That means, at least I would say, at the end of each day, probably it's a good thing, not with the ear cleaner, but just cleaning with a Kleenex, just cleaning the debris out of their ears. But at least once a week, you want to use an ear cleaner, maybe use something that you're comfortable with. There are some natural, organic ear cleaners as well that you can use. Apple cider vinegar with a little bit of water. It's a good idea. You can mix it together, 10 to 1. 10 water, 1 apple cider vinegar. Mix it up and clean the ear. Cleaning the ear, it should be something that you want to do often. You want to do it in a regular basis, especially if you're a Beagle owner or breeds or dogs who have long ears. The problem with these breeds is that when they're sniffers, so their head is always on the ground, they're sniffing. So as they're walking and sniffing the ground, the ears pick up dirt as well. And this dirt just gathers in their ears. And because their ears are closed, they stay there, they don't come out. So you want to clean it as often as you can. So either with, just clean the debris out, and once a week, just ear cleaning is it's a must for this type of dogs and breeds. So if it's shaking, that means there's something in the ear that needs to come out. It's bothering it. Just clean it up. If you see that it's not going away, there might be there's an infection or something. One of the things that I would use, ear cleaners. Let me see. I can remember the name of it. I can't remember. Is Zotic, something like that? Basically, it has zinc in it, I think. I can't remember the name of it. What was its name? Zincolic. Oh, Zincolic. Let me see if I can bring it on the screen. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay. So this is the product that you want to use. Zinotic. This is a very good product. literally what happened is that I used this product for my own Beagle. I used it once actually. It did it. It did the job. You don't have to use it all the time. It's only once in a while that you're cleaning your dog's ear. Maybe like if there's an infection or something, you use this. Um, and once you do it, it just keeps it clean. But you still have to clean your Beagle's ear here and there. It's better to clean it anyways rather than using anything like this. This is just in case if you have a problem and there's an infection and you want to deal with it. So that would be my suggestion. Great question. Thank you for the question. Sahar is in the house. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Yeah, definitely use ear cleaner. If it's still not working, definitely take it to the vet and let them see if they can figure out what is going on. Milena, I'm going to get a 2-month-old Beagle for a week. So when should I start training? In a week, I'm guessing. And when should I start training him? By the way, keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. So you're going to get a 2-month-old Beagle in a week. So when should I start training him? So you're going to get 2 months old, which is 8 weeks, 8 weeks old Beagle. I have talked about this before, and I think I'm going to do a video as well. One of the upcoming videos would be about this topic. I think it's next week. I'm not sure, but it's scheduled to be made. 8 weeks old, we used to think that it was okay to pick up a puppy at 8 weeks old, and most breeders and most dog owners, if they were breeding their dogs, they would let their puppy go at 8 weeks old. New studies have shown that it's not a good idea to pick up a puppy at 8 weeks old. We want to stretch it a little bit longer and pick up the puppy between 10 weeks and 12 weeks. 12 weeks would be the ideal time to pick up a puppy, but 8 weeks is between 8 weeks and 12 weeks. There's that 1 month, right, that we need to still keep the puppy engaged and exposed to its siblings and original parents. The reason for that is because we want to make sure that most of the training and most of the socialization and most of the exposure to the environment and the puppies and the parents and siblings, it's there a little bit longer than 8 weeks, because what has happened until now, people who have picked up their puppies at 8 weeks or even younger, there are breeders who are giving away their puppies even younger. What happens when they give away the puppies too young, at 8 weeks especially? Puppy comes to human world, and hold on, let me just take care of this. I forgot to get this started. What happens? The puppy comes in the human world, and humans start making mistakes and doing things that they're not supposed to, or they do things that they don't do the stuff that is necessary to do. Most dog owners, when they get a puppy, especially at 8 weeks, they just melt and they fall in love with the puppy, and they start just sharing affection with this puppy like crazy. They just do all the crazy stuff, all the things that you shouldn't be doing. Or they do things that it's not beneficial to the puppy. Now, one of the things that, again, you want to remember, and I'll get to the answer to your specifically to your question, but most dog owners, what happens is most when they get a puppy, they start focusing on the affection. They forget to focus on other stuff. So as when you get a puppy, you start making all kinds of mistakes, and what happens is the puppy starts developing certain behavioral issues that would reflect in future, in near or long term future. It will start affecting the puppy, which therefore we need this puppy to stay a little bit longer with its original siblings and parents if possible. If the breeder still has the siblings left and the parents are still there, it's a good idea to keep that puppy there. Let that puppy learn and socialize and be trained by its original parents before coming to your human world. What happens is what should happen is a decent breeder, a legitimate breeder, would work on socialization of the puppy, uh, would work on potty training the puppy, would work on few of the issues that puppies have. The breeder will do it, and then will release that puppy to humans. That should be the proper way of going about getting a puppy. Uh, the puppy should be ready for you to take. But when you take it at 8 weeks old, the puppy is not ready. So I would highly suggest you to ask your breeder or whoever, wherever you're getting your Beagle from, to, if possible, to keep the puppy for another month. And I know you're very excited to get the puppy, but it's for sake of the puppy's well-being, both behaviorally and both emotionally and both physically, and um, all the benefits are your puppy is going to benefit from it if you just stay wait one more month. That would be my core suggestion about getting a puppy at 8 weeks old. That aside, now when you get your puppy, Beagle, when do you start training your puppy? You start training your puppy. Let me see here. I have it ready to go. I'm going to remove this. So you can start training your puppy. Let me see if I can make this a bit better. Okay, that's better. So the first 3 months of your puppy is the time that you start training your puppy. What I mean by that is you're focused on training your puppy at the puppy level, not obedience in form of uh, focused formal obedience training. You're training the puppy from in a puppy training level. So puppy training level is basically, again, if you have received, you got your puppy from a legitimate breeder, they would already have some minor training started with your puppy. You just have to follow up and follow through. The potty training, the house rules. You have to crate train the puppy, have a specific area for the puppy to stay and play and eat and all that. And then you're just focused on introducing the commands, verbal commands. You're introducing the words. For the first 2 3 months, you're just introducing the words like come, sit. You're not expecting the puppy to actually learn what come is, what sit is, what stay is. You're just introducing, and hopefully the puppy is getting the information that you're trying to teach. And after 2 or 3 months, then you can start the obedience training, which it takes you another 6 or 9 months. But the first few months, 2 through 3 months, you want to focus on just training a puppy. Now, if you want to learn what those trainings are, what you do, I have a playlist that you can watch those videos. Actually, it is the video series that I produced as soon as I got my own Beagle puppy, Annie, and I started creating these videos, right? So I'm going to link a video in the chat area, which is called Beagle Puppy Training. So go ahead and watch the entire series. It's a video series, starts from here. You can go back and forth in the whole entire playlist and series and watch the entire video, all the videos. We go through the basic things that you need to introduce to your puppy, the commands, how to walk on a leash properly, all those little things about puppy. You can get started watching those videos. It's in the chat area, and make sure to watch those. All right, Paling NG. I'm guessing the N from NG, the N is a silent. I'm guessing a Paling G. And that's my guess. If I'm correct, let me know. How do I brush my Beagle 2 years old teeth? Oh, great question. By the way, if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the chat area and I'll answer them. Brushing a Beagle teeth. One of the things that you have to understand that brushing teeth, using toothbrush, it's not a natural action or activity for dogs. You can kind of introduce them when they are puppy, and for them to get used to that activity and sensation that they're getting, that's okay to introduce to the puppy and let it get used to it. But it is not natural to brush a dog's teeth anyways. What you want to do is use natural forms of toothbrush that you can use, which are basically chews anything that your puppy or your dog can chew. So bones, for instance, raw bones are natural teeth cleaners. For flossing purposes, you can give them, what are they called? Rope toys. That's for flossing. Rope toys, they chew on them and work on them. That kind of flosses the teeth, but don't worry about that part. For brushing teeth in general, naturally, you want to use raw bones to brush your dog's teeth. I would suggest to get a raw bone that is a little bit bigger than your dog's jaw size, and let it work on it for 20 minutes every other day or so. Not every day, not all the time, not longer than 20 minutes, because it becomes obsession when they work on the bone too long. Then it becomes a little bit, it puts a lot of stress on their jaw and teeth actually when they work a long time on a bone. So you want to limit the time that they're working, but to get the benefits from it. For instance, my own puppy Annie, she chews all the time. We have all kinds of chews. We have hoof. Let me see if I can get the picture. You can get hoofs like these. Hoofs, these are good sources of chewing in general for any dog, any age. These are good source of this is one of the things that my Annie choose. You want to get raw bones, things like that, bones like that. You want to use raw natural bones. That would do it. So anything that they can chew, it will become a teeth cleaner, basically. So focus on providing those, especially that you have a 2-year-old. It's a good source of entertainment and also beneficial as a teeth cleaner. Tamstar says, hi, I just got here. Welcome. Thank you for being here. You're on time. Manda, when should I start to train my Beagle? Good question. So depending on your Beagle's age and where you are, basically, let me see if I can get this. There we go. So depending on age that you have your Beagle, if you have a puppy, you want to start training your puppy starting from 2 to 3 months. Starting at 3 months, it's a good idea to start starting to train obedience, if that's what you mean, training. Obedience is one of those must do and must start forms of training with your dog. You started from 3 months old. So puppy training starts from 3 months old. It lasts for 3 months. Now, if you have a older dog, let's say a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, you start training it now, today, and then it will take you 6 to 9 months to accomplish the training. The reason for that is because you're working on basic obedience for a few months, and then you're working on intermediate level obedience, and then you're working on advanced level obedience. So the difference between basic, intermediate, and advanced level obedience is that basically in the basic obedience, you're working on a 6-foot leash. On intermediate level, you're working on longer leash, but you're introducing 3 forms of these, which we call them 3Ds: distraction, durations, and distance. These are the 3 things that we start working on the dog. So in the basic obedience, for example, we do within 6 foot distance, where in intermediate level we go to 10 feet, right? And then we start introducing distractions and durations too. Durations, for example, in basic, we ask the dog to sit and stay for 2 minutes. In intermediate level, we're asking them to stay for 5 minutes. And then in the advanced level, we're going to up to 35 meter, and we're adding durations of 10 minutes sit and stay, and then we're adding more distractions as well. So that's why it depends on when you can start training your Beagle, because it depends on the age and depends on what level your Beagle is in general. So hopefully that answers your question. How much and how often does a Beagle eat? Go outside, go to the toilet. How much and how often does a Beagle eat? So the first question, how much a Beagle should eat, I would suggest to find your dog's ideal weight, your Beagle's ideal weight. Let's say 35 pounds, 40 pounds. Let's go with 40 pounds. So a 40-pound Beagle should eat 400 grams of food per day. So if you have 35-pound Beagle, 350 grams of food a day. That's the closest form of formula that I can give you. So again, find out your beagle's ideal weight, whatever weight it is. Let's say 20 pounds, right? It should eat 200 grams of food. 30 pounds, 300 grams of food. 40 pounds, 400 grams of food. So that would be how much your dog should eat. Now, how much to go outside? I would suggest at least 2 half-an-hours per day. One in the morning, one in the evening. So that would be total of 1 hour. So half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, total of 1 hour per day. That would be the minimum amount of exercise that you want to provide. Don't do more than 90 minutes per day. Not more than 2 hours either. 2 hours is still too much. 90 minutes it would be ideal. Maximum level that you want to exercise your beagle. 1 hour is ideal. 1 hour. But if you're doing, for example, 90 minutes a day, 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes in the evening, that would be ideal amount of exercise. Now, how often should it go to toilet? It all depends on what it's eating and how its digestion system is. If you're feeding kibble, your beagle is gonna poop a lot of time. It's gonna drink a lot of water, so it's gonna pee a lot of time too. So you want to keep taking it out. If it's a puppy, I would suggest to take your puppy every 2 hours. If it's an adult beagle, you want to make sure that it goes at least every 3 to 4 hours to go outside and do its business up there. So that would be basically, I think I answered all of your question. There's one more question. How do you deal with good and bad behavior of a beagle? Very good question. Another good question. So what you want to do, overall, you want to understand the fact that in life in general, there is good and there is bad. There is negative and there is positive. There is black, there is white. There is darkness, there is light. There is negative, there is positive. That's the reality of life. By understanding this fact that life has always both negative and positive, you will feel more comfortable to address your dogs, whether they're doing good or bad. You're going to be able to address them without feeling bad, without feeling emotional. If your dog is doing something good, you should be able to say, good boy, good girl, that was good one, right? If your dog does something bad, you should be able to say, no, that was bad, bad girl, bad boy. But did you notice my tones were the same, whether I was providing positive or negative feedback? They were the same. It wasn't like, oh, good boy, good girl, and then bad girl, bad boy. Not like that. You see, they're different, right? So if you want to provide both negative and positive, try to provide in a neutral tone, in a neutral form. Good boy, good girl, bad boy. So you're not extreme, right? You're not angry, you're not aggressive, you're not soft and gentle. Where if you are extreme in both ways, you will confuse your dog, right, or your puppy. So what I want you to do is watch the following video. It's a two-part video that you can watch and learn. And I called it how to correct your puppy. And let's see. and the link is in the chat area. How to correct your puppy. Go ahead and watch that video as well, because will give you some ideas of how to do it actually, and how to think about um, how to deal with good and bad behavior. 6 months old, yes, you can still do that. All right. So that would be my answer. So we have Pooja. What are the basic things to train a beagle with baby? My baby is 7 months old, and my beagle is 1 year and 4 months. He is hyperactive and can't control him when he is let free. So one of the things that I want you to understand and do is you have to have a trained dog, a trained beagle, in order to expose it to anything else, including babies. So your baby, your beagle is not ready to be involved with your baby yet. And I know you're saying, I want my baby to get used to my beagle, or my beagle to get used to my baby, but you have to focus on making your beagle to be under control no matter what the situation is. So one of the things that we focus on when we start training our dogs is you have to, first of all, dedicate some time to train your beagle. If you dedicate some time to train your beagle is going to have an easier time to deal with problems and with issues. And if you don't dedicate that time, you're going to be, excuse me, if you don't dedicate time to train your beagle, you're going to be dealing with this every day, forever. Right? It's going to be a non-stop chaos, non-stop trauma, non-stop frustration, and all that. So what I suggest, first of all, to do is dedicate some time to train your beagle. Your baby, I know it's important, but your beagle also is important. You all, unfortunately or fortunately, you have both of them. And I know your baby is number one, and your beagle is probably number two. Uh, that's how it should be, anyways. But since you have a baby and a beagle, right? You have to put time for both of them. You or your husband or your family members have to chip in and work on the training, right? Somebody has to help this beagle to learn what to do and how to do things. Unfortunately, that's the reality. So that's number one. You have to put some time, dedicate some time to train your beagle. So what I usually suggest to do is train your puppy or dog 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day, if possible. If possible to dedicate that much time, that would be great. 15 minutes a day, up to 30 minutes, that would be ideal. If you can't do it every day, do every other day, do at least 3 to 4 times a week. Provide an environment that there's no distraction, no baby in the room, no other things happening in the room. So you're just focused on training your beagle, and be present. Don't be distracted with thoughts and distracted with things that are going and happening around. You want to be focused on your beagle and train it for 15 minutes. So 15 minutes of dedication would be great. That would be the ideal way of dedicating to train your beagle. Now, once you do that, you start training your beagle. One of the things that you have to understand is you don't expose your beagle to the baby until you have 99% control over your beagle. And with the training, you will bring that excitement level and control your beagle, and you're going to bring the excitement level down. So therefore, you will be able to control your beagle with the presence of your baby. Um, The other thing that I want you to focus on is try to focus on providing your Beagle its daily 5 essential needs. These are exercise, training, socialization, care, and then affection. If you focus on these, you will have an easier time um, to train it, to work with it, and control it and manage it. One of the things that most dog owners they do is they focus on one or two of these, right? They focus on maybe affection, care, maybe a little bit of exercise, but you have to provide it in this order: exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection, and all of these every day needs to be provided to your Beagle. If you do that, you're going to have an easier time managing your both your baby and your Beagle. And good luck with having both Beagle, a Beagle dog and baby. It's a lot of work. Also, he is very friendly with strangers and anyone who is coming home, but extremely hyperactive when someone comes. Yes. So training will help you to control and manage that too. So one of the things is that, for example, we teach in the training, during the training, we do teach sit and stay, for instance, to a Beagle. And what it does, it tells the dog to sit, calm down, stay, and stay calm for a while, right? So you can use sit and stay when the guests come home and ask your Beagle to sit and stay, so calm down to greet the humans. And if you do that, your Beagle is going to get used to the routine and the concept that, okay, when the guests come, I need to sit and stay and then greet the human. Either the human is going to greet the dog or the dog is going to calmly greet the human. But if you do that, but you need to do that. You need to teach your Beagle to sit and stay. And you said it's a 7-month-old no, it's a year and a half Beagle. So what I would suggest you to do is, let me see if I can get the videos that you need to watch. So you can start training your Beagle. Beagle basic obedience training. So I'm going to put a link in the chat area. This is the video series that you want to watch. So watch one video, practice that command for a while, and then go to the next command. So basically, you're training your Beagle at home. Saber Dog says, hello. Hi, Saro. Thank you for being here. Saber Dog, is nice to have you on board. Meluna is saying, hi, Saro. Thanks for your tips. You are welcome. Thank you for being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon as well, so you will get notified as soon as I post my next video or if I go live. Prince Mina, sir, my 4-month-old puppy eat its own poop. So, yes. So there are several reasons why dogs do that. And because we are live, I can't really talk about this topic, because if I do, YouTube is going to censor or remove the video or something like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share a video in the chat area. It's called how to stop a dog from eating stool. So we call it stool. Okay. So watch that video. I'm going to put it in the chat area. So there it is. Please watch that video. You'll have better ideas and understanding of why that happens. There is a reason why they eat it. There's a way to stop it too, which I explain. Saber Dog is saying, want to swap my dog for a Beagle so I can join in. Well, you have a beautiful dog. Saber is beautiful dog, and you don't have to feel bad. It's okay. Kat is asking, hi Saro, I tried to take your free intro course online but could not access it. Any suggestions? It could be. Let me see if I can show it um, on the channel. What you free? Okay. Let's go to this. All right. So the intro to dog training without the use of treats. So this is the course that you want to do, right? If you have a problem. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on it. You're going to click on enroll now. Here you have to enter login. If you have created a password and login, if you haven't, what you want to do, you want to create a new account. Okay, so you just have to click on this, create a new account, and then create the fill out this information and then register. That should solve the problem. If you've done this and you still can't get in, let me know. If there's a problem, I will figure it out and solve it. But this method should work. If it doesn't work, let me know. Okay. So that should solve the problem. Now, if you want to join my other courses, because this one is free, that's how you do it. For example, if you want to join my puppy training course, you're going to add it to the cart. And then let's say that's the one that you want to join. You're going to proceed to checkout. In here, you're going to fill out your information, and then you're going to create account as well, account username, and create account password. That should let you get started. Again, if you have problem, Kat, let me know, and I will fix the problem. Try that. If it doesn't work, let me know. Okay. All right, German Shepherd, good breed. Pooja is saying, thank you so much, Saro. Thanks for your tips. You're welcome. We have Priyanka. Hi, Saro. Thank you for being here, Priyanka. We have Prince Mina. Okay, sir. Thanks a lot for your help. No problem. Priyanka is asking, can dogs have cough? My Doberman Pinscher is doing like he is choking. Okay, so there are several things. If it's coughing, it could be kennel cough. It's just a doggy flu. If that is happening, that's what's happening. What I would suggest to do is keep your dog inactive for 2-3 days. Don't over exercise it. Don't exercise us actually at all. Let it rest. I know it's going to be hard, but let it rest. Within 2 or 3 days, it should go away. If it doesn't go away, then you want to take it to the vet and check it out with the vet. Within a few days, it should go away. It's just like a human flu. If it's one of those severe ones, it all depends on how severe it is. So I have a video, and you can also watch that video. There's a little bit more information on that. So I'm going to share that video in the chat area as well. It's called Treating Kennel Cough. So watch that video. Maybe it will give you some ideas. If it's choking or something, again, these are things that you have to be aware of your dog's usual behavior, usual routine behavior. If you know your dog and there's something unusual, And if you know that your dog has done certain things or hasn't done certain things, you have to know about your dog and judge based on those. If you think that he's choking on something and is probably maybe worked on a stick or something and it's stuck there, again, you want to take it to the vet and let them check it out and figure it out. But if it's just a simple doggy flu, kill on cough, just let it rest for a few days and it will be hopefully going away. Saber Dog saying, just kidding, of course, of course. Manual PAP Summer 2008. Which service are you using to determine your new puppy's breeds? Hmm. Hmm?
The brand we use.
The brand we use?
Yeah, it's on your desk.
Hmm.
You said
Oh, I see. I see. I don't have it at the moment with me. I put it away. I threw it away. Let me see if I can get it. I see. Okay, I get the question. The thing that you, I will show you in the video. Hold on. Wisdom panel. Wisdom panel. DNA test kit. We send a swab and we find DNA panel. We use any wisdom panel. We use wisdom panel. Canine DNA test kit. We send a swab and we got a result. So that's the one, wisdom panel. We used wisdom panel to figure out what. To figure out the DNA of Annie. So that's the one. Okay, for a moment I didn't understand the question, but that's the answer. Okay. Charlene, how do I get my Beagle to stop eating feces? He keeps getting worms that needs to be treated. You see, one of the problems with 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 the dogs or beagles who eat poop is, one, you have to understand that their pH level, acid pH level is very high, so it does kill bacteria. So it's not from the feces that they're getting bacteria. Could be something else. It the thing is that a dog, when it eats poop, it's probably lacking something, some form of nutrients, right? Something is missing in their diet, or something is not there, or something is too much of it, something of too much of something is there. So you just have to figure out what it is. One of the problems that I have come across, and this happens mainly to dogs or beagles who are on kibble, to kibble eaters who eat kibble, they do have a lot of digestion issues because kibble is a processed food, and it is full of chemicals and ingredients that it doesn't sit well in their digestion it doesn't agree with their digestion system, and it doesn't sit well, so it bothers them. So therefore, either they can't digest their food properly, or they're looking to get that nutrients from either their stool, maybe leftover or not digested food that is there, or they're trying to supplement it. You know what I mean? Uh, Usually they eat a lot of grass as well. So if they're eating grass, that's a signal that they have digestion problems, so they need to be addressed. So what you can do is either add supplements. One of the natural good supplements, some of the natural good supplements that you can literally add it starting today is egg, uh, ginger powder, and turmeric. these are the three things. I'm sure you have it at home. You can literally add these three things to your dog's food today. Even if you're feeding your dog Beagle kibble, add those. It will help with both digestion and nutrition, right? The other suggestion I would have is maybe try to add some fresh food to your Beagle's kibble. Fresh food, what I mean by that is maybe fresh meat, raw fresh meat, even cooked is okay. Fresh vegetables, green leafy vegetables, add those to your kibble, dog's kibble as well. Or maybe even try to change the diet from whatever it is now to home cooked or raw diet. And by the way, speaking of this, keep an eye on my Sunday's new video, which I'm going to talk about this topic as well. So try to change the diet and see the difference. Now, the other thing that may be the reason why your Beagle is eating feces could be behavioral, it could be genetic, something that is related to its, if it's, especially if it's a female dogs in general, they do have this tendency to eat feces because they are uh, reacting to the instinct of cleaning their house. When moms they give birth to their puppies, and the puppies are in the den and not moving much, and they pee and poo and all that, mom tends to eat those to clean the den. So it comes from them, that instinct, and then it becomes a learned behavior. So the better thing to do in cases like that is management. So what I mean by that is, if you are letting your Beagle to go in the backyard and do its business, make sure that you're watching them and you're picking up the feces. You're not letting it just stay. If your Beagle is pooping right away, just go and pick it up right away. That would be human management. That would be a better solution as well. So those will be my suggestion. Manuel Pap, thanks for a previous answer to breed service. My 8-month-old Beagle doesn't like to eat dry food. I mix cooked chicken and some broth, yet she eats chicken. I feed Blue Buffalo puppy dry food. Um, so if your Beagle is not eating dry food, that's a signal and sign that obviously the reason most dogs don't like to eat dry food is because, one, it doesn't taste good. Two, it doesn't make them feel good. Three, it makes them thirsty. So naturally, they don't want to eat something that it doesn't work for them. So they are giving you a signal. They're giving a sign that this food, even though it's Blue Buffalo, and I know Blue Buffalo is one of the expensive brands as well. And just because you're paying expensive amount of money to buy that brand, it doesn't mean it's a good food. It's still processed food. It's still processed the same way a cheap brand will be processed. So the difference between a cheap brand dry food and an expensive dry food is just basically um, you're paying for the brand name. There is no difference. They're both made the same way, put the same content, processed the same way, and they're just not ideal diet for a Beagle or a dog. So I would remove that in general. If your Beagle is saying, I need chicken, so add some chicken instead of giving the kibble, just give chicken. It's chicken and a little bit of veggies. So again, watch my video on Sunday. It's coming up on Sunday. It'll give you some ideas of what you should exactly feed your dog. And in general, when people tell me that my dog is not eating its food. What do I do? You can't force your dog to eat something that it doesn't like or it doesn't sit well. So rather than forcing them to eat, why don't you try different food, different diet? Not different brand of dry food or kibble, different diet. There are several diets at the moment available to all dog owners. If you go to any pet store, they have variety of pet foods now. They have obviously the kibble, they have canned food, they have dehydrated food, they have homemade, home cooked diet as well. Some they are starting to bring that out. They also have raw diet. So there are many diets available that you can try. You don't just stick with the kibble. Kibble, I know, is cheap. It's as soon as you go to a pet food, obviously you're bombarded with dry food everywhere. Whereas the other good foods are hidden on the back. You just have to go inside and check it out and try them. And don't worry, they're not dangerous or they're not gonna make your dog's diet or health bad, or they're not going to make your beagle or dog sick. They're actually healthier food. Anything but kibble. If you feed anything but kibble, you will have better results. So, kibble and then canned food are almost the same category, I would say. Move higher than that, move other than higher than that, go to dehydrated food or home cooked or raw diet. Dehydrated food is still better than kibble, but it's still not the ideal. But again, it's better than kibble. So try different diets, different food, and see what results you get, right? Priyanka is saying, hi, thank you for being here. Can we give chill water to dog? Chill water, cold water, you mean? Yes, of course you can give cold water, but don't, not all the time. Um, if it's hot, it's fine, but if it's hot weather, yes, it's fine. But all the time, you don't want to give them all the time cool, chill water because it will distress their internal system. Charlene is asking also, how do I get my 1-year-old beagle to focus on me instead of being obsessed with things such as sticks, toys, etc.? He won't let them go or goes back to it when I say no. Good question. So one of the problems when we are dealing with 1-year-old beagle, it's still a puppy. I would consider a 1-year-old beagle still a puppy because they're still learning. So when they are in that learning stage, your expectation obviously should be low because you're still teaching and your beagle is still learning, right? But a year-old beagle, if it can't focus, that means you're putting that beagle in an environment and situation that it's not ready to be. So what I mean by that is, if you're taking it to a dog park that there are sticks and toys and things going by, and your beagle is so distracted with all those things, what you want to do is don't put your beagle in that situation. So for the next month to 3 months, what I would suggest you to do is say, here's a plan. We're going to work on it. For 3 months, you're not going to go to the dog park. It's simple, and don't feel bad that you're not taking your beagle to the dog park for 3 months. Your goal is to get results after 3 months. Okay, so for 3 months, you're working and you're doing everything that you can to get your beagle to focus on you. And you're saying, what's the point of me not taking to my dog to the dog park because that's where he gets distracted? Well, if you put a kid in a candy store and say, don't touch the candies, it's hard for that kid to not to touch candies, right? So the same concept applies to your beagle. If you want your beagle to focus, you have to teach it in an environment that is less distractive and has the ability to focus on. So here's how you're going to start planning these 3 months. You're going to start from working with your beagle at home in the living room for a few weeks. You're going to bring its toys and everything, and you're going to work on to get your beagle to focus on you rather than the toy, for example, right? If you see that you're getting results, your beagle is able to focus on you rather than the toy, then you move on to the next level, which is the backyard. Now, if you're living in a home and you have a backyard, that's great. If you're living in an apartment building, your backyard would be your hallways or the parking lot. Buildings usually have a parking lot. Go and practice it there. Try to get your beagle to focus on you. The same thing that you were doing in the living room, in the backyard or in the parking lot. Make sure that your beagle focuses on you, not the toy, or whatever is happening in the parking lot, or whatever is happening in the backyard. If you get through that, then you go to the next level, which is the front yard. Front yard of your house or front yard of your apartment building. You go and practice for a few weeks there, see if you're getting the same results, and then you go to the next level, which is on the streets, and then the dog park. So you're going through 5 levels before you go from your living room to the dog park, right? So you're going through living room, backyard, front yard, street, and then dog park, right? So go through those levels before you get to that park, which may be in 3 months. Now, if you are getting good results, maybe you can shorten it to a month or two, but 3 months, you should be realistic that this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take my beagle to the dog park because that's where the candy store is. I don't want it to get distracted. I'm just going to go walk around the block, or I'm just going to put my beagle in the car and go to a park that there's no distractions, or we can have a decent walk. If you can't have a decent walk, I'd rather you not practice walking like a crazy and then getting negative results. Then it's better to stay home and practice it at home, everything that you need to do, backyard, front yard, and then get to the park. Does it make sense? Let me know if it does make sense. Manda says, what should I do in case of medical emergency? Beagle, 6 months old. Well, what I would suggest, what I would do is that I have a couple of vet clinics that I know they're open 24/7. I have in mind, I know where they're located. I have their phone numbers and ready to go just in case of emergency. So I can call them and tell them that I'm bringing my dog. The other thing is I have a first aid kit ready as well, both at work and home. So I work in my office is actually in my doggy daycare. So I have a emergency kit in our doggy daycare anyways, and I have at home too. So be prepared, be ready to just in case of an emergency to take actions. Whatever happens, you want to make sure that you know where to take your beagle first, which vet clinic to take, where to take your beagle, and also have some form of emergency kit ready, just in case if you have to do some, you can do the basics. Or you can also take emergency courses online too, first aid course online as well. That would be a good idea too. I took my 6 month old beagle puppy always eats the grass in our yard and his poop. So yeah, that's that. I just talked about this. So if your beagle is eating grass, that's a sign that there's some they have an upset stomach. So the food that you're giving is not helping them, is actually causing it to have uh, upset stomach. So you may want to change the diet, not the food or not the brand of the food that you're feeding, but the diet. Diet is so important to understand that it makes a big difference, and there is a difference between diet and food. Brand of food that you're feeding. When I tell people like change the food, especially if they're feeding kibble, they go from one brand of kibble to another brand of kibble. They're all the same. You're going to get the same results. You want to change the diet to go from either kibble diet to dehydrated diet food, or home cooked diet, or raw diet. So change the diet for a few weeks or a few months, see the results, see if it helps, see if it's doing positive, doing good, doing bad, and then figure that out, and then conclude what is happening. And remember, when you change a diet, you will see some negative results, especially if you're moving from kibble to another diet, because when you have been feeding your beagle or your dog kibble, there are a lot of toxins build up in your dog's body and system. As soon as you change the diet, that new diet is going to start cleaning up your beagle's system and pushing out the toxins. So you're going to get diarrheas and throwing up, all kinds of negative stuff. Don't panic. It's a good sign. That means toxins are coming out. The new food is doing its job and it's cleaning up the system. So you're going to get some negative results for a few days, and then it's going to start cleaning up. So don't worry about that part. I have lots of videos about this topic on my channel. Actually, you can go ahead and watch those. So I'm going to try to see. Let me see if I can share that playlist that you can go and watch. There it is. So diet for dogs explained. So that's the title. There are lots of videos in this playlist. You're welcome to watch them all or just few of them. Manuel Pap, thanks for feedback regarding food. We'll be watching Sunday's video. Great, thank you. Yeah, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as the video goes on or if I go live. Matish, sir, I have decided to buy one male and female beagle puppies, but I have one doubt in future they mate each other or not. Please reply. Well, they will do it if you have them free and you don't spay or neuter them. I don't know if you are aware of spaying and neutering. If you want to have both male and female, they have to be spayed and neutered. If you don't do it, you're going to have puppies, end up with puppies, tons of puppies. And also, there is a concept. Now, this is not very popular yet, but you have to figure out if your vet or the person that you're sending your dog to take care of your beagle or dog is aware of this. I'm going to put the link in the chat area as well. Go ahead and watch that. That will explain to give you some ideas of what you should be considering in order to have spaying, or if you're not going to be spaying or neutering, there is another term. Again, I'm forgetting that term's name. Let me see if I can remember. Sterilized. It's called sterilized. Not many vets are aware of this. Ask your vet if it's aware of this. If you sterilize them, what that means is the organs are still there, but they're not going to be able to produce. Instead of neutering or spaying, which you're removing the organs, which causes to developments of other health issues, because they need those organs. They're there for a reason. If you remove them, then they're going to have health issues developed in them. So that's what I mean. So this sterilized. So you see what I'm saying? Sterilized. So you want to make sure that your vet is aware of this option and can perform that to your beagles. I know you want to have a cake and eat it too, but it's kind of challenging to have both. Actually, I have male and female at the moment, but they're both spayed and neutered. My puppy is not. She is not spayed yet. We are thinking to spay her. We're waiting until she's 8 months and older, or when she has her first heat. Charlene, my beagle only eats rabbit and goose feces. Well, that comes from human management. If you know that your beagle is doing that and is going for that, just control it. Don't allow it to go for it. If there is a place that you let it off leash and goes and does it, that means your beagle is not ready to be off leashed yet. If it's going and eating those stuff, I will put it on leash, won't allow it to go and get those stuff, and work on controlling and managing my beagle. If I have a beagle and I want it to be off leash, what I would do, I will work on improving the off leash abilities, techniques, where my beagle is going to stay by me, so I can keep an eye on him or her so he won't make mistakes. If it does something, I can control it and manage it. Matish, and tell me how to choose good show quality beagle puppies. Well, you have to find a reputable breeder. Locally, if you could, preferably if you could do a research and see who's the local show beagle breeder, and then go from there. If there's not local ones, and if you have to ask them to send it to you, which I wouldn't recommend, you will always want to go and meet the beagle puppies in person, and then go from there. Just do a Google search. Jay Saro Top Man, thank you, and thank you very much for your reply, sir. May I get your contact number? Contact number, you can go to Saro Dog Training and you can contact me from there. I'll put the link in the chat area. And that's all we had for today, and I answered all of your questions, I think. If there is more questions and I didn't get to answer your questions, leave those questions in the comments area. make sure to watch my video on Sunday. It's going to be an important one. We're talking about diet. And Wednesday, the next coming Wednesday, we'll be announcing the winner and also the results of Annie's DNA results. We're going to find out what mixed breeds Annie is. Hold on, and there's a follow-up. Charlene is saying my Beagle is never off leash, but picks up rabbit and goose pieces right in our backyard. He's so quick. How come there are rabbits and goose feces in your backyard? That's a strange thing. If possible, pick them up before your Beagle picks them up. Yes, very good. All right, I think we got it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. And until next time, have fun with your dog.